All right, so this next conversation is about timelines and trajectories. So, a timeline is a path that we're on. If we keep going in a straight line from where we stand right now and keep making the decisions and the same things over and over, this is the timeline and this is the outcome that will happen. And we can visualize what that outcome is because, well, it's the same thing we've been doing. We can just sit with that energy and say, if I continue to make the decisions that I've been making, what's going to happen? And that's the timeline we're looking at. And the trajectory is all of the possibilities of timelines. And so we like to open these a lot. We like to go, well, what if I did this? And we imagine it and we build it and we visualize all of those possibilities. But what we're actually doing is we're building another timeline. We're building another possibility. Our energy is spending some time doing that. And so if you're anything like me, we do this constantly and we have a lot of them. And so we have to be a little bit conscious of more, what do we want to create and where do we want to put that energy? But even more than that, we need to be really conscious that if we're in a negative spiral and our what if questions are, what if it doesn't work? What if it fails? What if nobody buys? What if I don't succeed? What if? We're actually building a bunch of these timelines out there of all of these negative things instead of going, what if it works? What if I am successful? What if it, what if, what if we jump in and people want what we have? And there's such a different energy to it. And so that's something that's really important to focus on. But what I really want to talk about when we're talking about our intuition is the timeline and the trajectory that we're building with how we treat our intuition and how we play with our intuition. And so if you're somebody today who doesn't really trust yourself and questions decisions, then if you look at that timeline that you currently have running, if nothing changes, what is going to be the outcome? The same thing, right? It's not going to change very much. Maybe here and there, you might go up and down, but it's basically going to stay the same. And you're not, there's no shift. It's not just some magically you're going to jump in and it's going to be better. So then I want you to sit here and I want you to imagine, what do I want my intuition to be? What do I actually want that to feel like? And I'd love for you to build another timeline and just dream. What would it feel like to actually trust yourself? What would I know? What information could I have access to? Who would I be if I trusted my decisions and I didn't question them and I was able to act on them? And so I want you to, in your mind, build out that timeline. Just close your eyes and build out that timeline. If you're in a place where you trust yourself, you have confidence, you're able to make decisions and act on them without worry. What does that look like? What does that feel like? So that's the first thing we have to do is understand what that ideal timeline that we're going to go after. We addressed where we are today and where we want to go. Okay. So the homework for this one is to write it out. I want you to write it out, however that works for you. I like to draw it like a map where I draw out the current timeline and I say the outcome. And I see that if nothing changes, what's going to happen? And then I want to draw out what's the energy of the future timeline, the ideal timeline, the one I want to jump into. And if I look at that, what does that feel like? What is the outcome? What are all of those pieces? Just pull it out. Okay,